The galaxy was laughing, a chorus of voices from millions of worlds filled with arrogance and pride. They pointed at Earth, a small blue planet, and called it weak, primitive, and unimportant. Alien leaders sneered as they displayed images of human cities, machines, and ships. "Look at them," one said. "They barely manage space travel. They will never survive beyond their world." On Earth, humans did not respond. They continued their daily lives, building, studying, and preparing quietly. No one spoke to the galaxy. No warnings were sent. No threats made. They simply worked in silence, their eyes focused and minds sharp. Humans had always known that actions were louder than words, and now, the galaxy would learn it too. In the high orbit above Earth, satellites shimmered under the sunlight, quietly connecting to systems hidden from alien detection. Inside laboratories, scientists moved with calm precision, adjusting equipment that hummed with energy. Each adjustment was a step in a plan no one could understand. Not even the most advanced alien minds. The world watched peacefully, unaware of the storm growing around their sun. Far away, in the Galactic Council, alien delegates argued, "This planet is insignificant. Why waste time?" Another replied, "Even if they have secrets, they are too weak to matter." They laughed again, shaking the stars with their pride, and in their laughter, they did not notice the first signs of something strange, a ripple in space, a pulse of energy moving from Earth to the sun. On Earth, the leaders of this silent human effort watched the readings carefully. Their faces showed determination, not fear. They knew the galaxy underestimated them. They knew that no words could prepare anyone for what was coming. "It is ready," whispered one, not to the galaxy, but to the team beside them. Their voices were soft, almost lost in the hum of machines. Back in the council, a young alien scholar frowned. "I sense something unusual near their star," she said, but her elders ignored her. "You worry too much," they laughed. "Earth cannot affect the sun. It is impossible." Their arrogance blinded them. They did not see the quiet power growing. They did not understand the patience and intelligence of humanity. The sun shone as usual, bright and powerful, but the energy coming from Earth touched it. Subtle at first, a whisper in the vastness of space. No alarm sounded. No one noticed yet. The galaxy continued its laughter, mocking the humans who sat quietly below their sun. But the first signs of change were there, hidden in plain sight, waiting for the right moment. And then, a small flicker appeared on the sun's surface, a shimmer of light that moved unnaturally. Alien sensors picked it up, but they could not understand it. "It is nothing," they said, "just a star flare." Yet the humans watched with calm eyes, knowing the galaxy would soon regret its laughter, knowing that in silence, they had built something that could change everything. The council continued their mockery. The galaxy thought it controlled the future, but Earth had already started its quiet revolution. The sun pulsed slightly, responding to unseen commands, and humans waited patiently, calmly, as if the universe itself listened to them. A storm was coming, a storm that no words could announce, and the galaxy would see, in disbelief, the power of silent strength. The galaxy still laughed, unaware that something extraordinary was happening on Earth. Alien fleets moved across the stars, confident and proud. "Humans cannot touch the sun," one commander said. "They are weak and small, their world is nothing." Yet on Earth, humans worked quietly, their hands steady, their minds focused. Every machine, every device, every calculation was part of a plan that no one could see. In secret facilities buried deep beneath oceans and mountains, humans connected massive arrays of energy collectors. These devices hummed softly, gathering power from the sun, redirecting it, storing it for a purpose the galaxy could not imagine. Scientists watched screens filled with numbers and graphs, checking each reading carefully. They moved with calm precision, knowing the galaxy thought them powerless. Above the Earth, satellites blinked in orbit, invisible to alien eyes, transmitting silent pulses to the energy grids on the surface. The humans did not announce their work. They did not need to. Their silence was stronger than any words. The galaxy would laugh one last time before realizing the truth. Meanwhile, alien observers noticed small anomalies, tiny changes in the sun's light, but they dismissed them. "Just solar flares," they said. "Nothing to worry about." In council chambers, delegates argued over minor events, oblivious to the storm forming right under their noses. Their arrogance blinded them, and they believed they understood everything. On Earth, the humans had begun the final calibration, the moment when their energy network would connect fully with the sun. The pulse of power grew stronger, sending subtle waves through space. Yet no human celebrated. No words were spoken. The world remained calm, as if nothing extraordinary was occurring. Their actions were quiet, but the universe itself felt the change. In a remote command center, a young engineer smiled faintly. "It is ready," she whispered, her voice barely audible over the hum of machines. The team around her nodded, each person understanding the gravity of the moment. They had waited years, planned for decades, and now, the galaxy would finally see what humans could do. Far away, alien spies in orbit reported strange readings. "Something is happening near the sun," one said nervously. "It is not normal," but their superiors laughed. "Humans cannot control stars," they said. "Do not worry," the spies hesitated, but fear crept into their hearts, a small seed that would grow. They did not know that humans were already in control. On Earth, the first visible signs appeared, faint glows rippling from the energy grids to the sun. They were small, almost invisible from space, yet undeniable. Even the most advanced sensors could not predict what was coming next. Humans monitored the flow, adjusting with care, every movement precise, every pulse exact. They were silent warriors, armed with intelligence and patience. And then, across the galaxy, fleets paused, scientists frowned, and observers blinked, noticing the first undeniable shift in the sun's behavior. "It cannot be. It is too precise. It is human." A voice trembled in disbelief. But before anyone could act, the humans continued, unseen, unheard, a calm power flowing through the heart of their star. The galaxy had laughed at weakness, mocked simplicity, and underestimated patience. Yet humans moved quietly, silently, their plan unfolding perfectly, and the first hints of fear began to spread among the stars. The Council would soon realize that Earth was no longer the weak world they thought it was, and what they had dismissed as impossible was only the beginning of humanity's silent revolution. The sun flickered, a tiny pulse that no one on Earth noticed but alien sensors could not ignore. Across the galaxy, fleets paused, scientists squinted at readings. "It cannot be. The sun is changing," murmured one, but their words were filled with doubt and fear. The Council laughed nervously, unwilling to accept the impossible. "Humans cannot do this," one said, yet even as they spoke, the first wave of panic began to spread. On Earth, humans watched silently, their eyes calm, their fingers steady on the controls. The sun's pulse grew stronger, a rhythm controlled perfectly by human design. No alarm sounded, no shouts were needed. Their plan moved forward with quiet precision, a symphony of patience and intelligence. The galaxy had mocked them for centuries, and now, the first signs of regret appeared. In orbit above the sun, alien scouts trembled as energy readings spiked. "It is not natural," one said. "It is intelligent," another whispered. "It is human." But no one believed it at first. Their pride made them doubt, their arrogance made them blind. Yet the truth could not be hidden, and fear began to take root in hearts that had once laughed. Below, humans adjusted the energy grids carefully, connecting the final circuits. The sun's light dimmed ever so slightly, almost imperceptible, yet undeniable, across distant planets. Sensors registered the change, scientists and leaders stared in disbelief. The galaxy realized that something was happening that they could not stop, could not control, could not understand. In the council chambers, arguments erupted. "This is impossible," shouted one alien. "They are only humans, they cannot affect a star." But the pulse continued, steady and unwavering. Each second brought new tension. Each ripple of energy reminded the galaxy of its arrogance. Humans remained calm, observing quietly, letting the universe feel their power without a single word. The first shock spread to the fleets, ships slowing as engines detected strange gravitational shifts, communications faltered, messages delayed or lost. Across the stars, confusion replaced laughter, disbelief replaced mockery. Humans had moved silently, and now the galaxy realized that the underestimated species was far beyond what anyone imagined. On Earth, a young scientist glanced at the sun's image on the screen. "It's working," she said softly, and her team nodded, understanding the moment. They did not cheer, they did not shout. Their victory was silent, subtle, yet absolute, a quiet force that the galaxy could not fight, and the first true fear of humanity began to spread. In distant observation decks, alien leaders held their heads, unable to comprehend how a species they had mocked had reached inside the heart of a star. They whispered, "We laughed at weakness. We were wrong." But even their words could not undo the change. The sun's dimming continued, small but growing, and the galaxy trembled before a quiet, patient intelligence. And on Earth, humans stood together, silent and calm, watching the first shock ripple across the stars. The galaxy had been humbled, their laughter fading into fear, and humanity, still without a single word, showed the first taste of power that would forever change the way the universe viewed them. The story of Earth's silent strength had begun, and the galaxy would never forget it. The sun dimmed more, a slow, unnatural pulse that stretched across the galaxy. Alien fleets froze in disbelief. Scientists whispered urgently to each other. "It cannot be. Earth controls the sun." They stared at their screens, trying to understand, trying to stop it. But no one could. Every calculation failed, every plan collapsed. The galaxy had laughed at humans for centuries, and now the full weight of their arrogance pressed upon them. On Earth, Humans moved calmly, adjusting the energy grids with perfect precision. Every pulse of power was controlled, every fluctuation planned. The world did not panic. Machines hummed in quiet harmony, and humans remained silent, patient, watching the effect ripple through the stars. They did not need to shout. Their power spoke louder than any words ever could. Alien leaders shouted orders to fleets. Stop it. Attack it. Do something. But nothing worked. Their ships were paralyzed by strange forces, sensors overloaded by invisible energy. Across the galaxy, panic replaced laughter, fear replaced arrogance. The humans they had mocked so easily now held the power of a star in their hands, and the first true realization of regret spread like wildfire. In orbit above the sun, alien observers documented the impossible. It is precise, controlled, intelligent, one whispered, and it is human. The council could not believe their eyes. Every screen told the same story, every reading screamed the same truth. Humanity had moved in silence, but their quiet actions now reshaped the galaxy. On Earth, a young engineer smiled faintly. The sun is fully under control, she said softly, and her team nodded. Each pulse of energy now deliberate, total, and unstoppable. The galaxy trembled, fleets staggered, and leaders fell silent. They had underestimated patience, intelligence, and discipline, and now they faced the consequences. Across distant worlds, civilizations began to react. We laughed at weakness. We were wrong, whispered one elder. Humans are not weak, they are terrifying. Panic grew, hope faded, and the story of Earth spread like fire. A quiet, small planet had shown the galaxy that it could bend even a star to its will. Without a word, without a warning, humanity had proven itself. The sun's energy fluctuated under human control, dimming, brightening, and pulsing with perfect rhythm. Alien scientists tried desperately to reverse the changes. But the network was flawless, every calculation failed, every effort collapsed. Humans watched quietly, allowing the galaxy to feel the power of their patience and intelligence. Their silence was absolute, but it screamed louder than any weapon. In the council chambers, delegates fell to their knees, some weeping, some trembling. We mocked them. We laughed. We should have listened. They murmured, but Earth did not celebrate, did not gloat. Their victory was silent, calm, and absolute. The galaxy had learned a lesson it would never forget, that the quiet, patient, intelligent species it had laughed at could change the fate of stars, fleets, and civilizations. And in the midst of the galaxy, humans continued to act with quiet dignity, their eyes on the sun, their hands steady, their plan complete. The first true shock had passed, but the memory of the galaxy's panic, the fear, and the awe would linger forever. Humanity had spoken without words, and the universe had listened. The galaxy was quiet, stunned by the display of human power. Fleets hovered in hesitation, scientists stared at their screens, and leaders whispered in disbelief. We laughed at Earth. We were wrong. Across distant planets, civilizations sent messages of apology, of fear, and of respect. But humanity did not answer immediately. They did not need to. Their silence had already spoken. On Earth, humans continued their daily lives, calm and steady. Machines hummed quietly in hidden laboratories. But the world itself appeared normal. Children played in the streets, cities moved as usual, and leaders walked among their people with quiet dignity. No one celebrated publicly, no parades were held. Their victory had already been won in silence, and that was enough. In orbit, alien fleets watched, unable to comprehend the depth of what had happened. Some sent emissaries to Earth, tentative and respectful, asking for peace, trade, and knowledge. Others debated how to rebuild trust after centuries of mockery. The galaxy had learned humility, and the lesson came at a cost they could not measure. Humans had proven that intelligence, patience, and silent action were far more powerful than weapons or words. The sun returned to normal, but the memory of its control remained. Across the stars, civilizations discussed the quiet strength of a species they had ignored. They moved without shouting, without fear, without pride, one scientist said, and yet, they changed everything. Humans had taught the galaxy a lesson that would last for generations. A planet once laughed at was now respected, feared, and admired. On Earth, scientists recorded their work carefully, storing data for the future. Leaders reminded the people to remain calm, patient, and united. The galaxy may have witnessed their power, but Earth itself remained grounded, humble, and quiet. For humanity, victory was not about fear or domination. It was about survival, intelligence, and foresight, a lesson written in silence, stronger than any speech or weapon. Across the stars, alien leaders began to share stories, teaching their people to respect patience and wisdom. The story of Earth spread from system to system, whispered from fleet to fleet. The galaxy would never forget how a small, quiet species had bent a star to its will without a single word, and how they had done it with calm intelligence, not anger, not pride. And on Earth, humans looked to the future, aware of their power but unshaken by it. They had proven themselves, not with war or threat, but with quiet strength, patience, and unity. The galaxy had laughed, the galaxy had mocked, and the galaxy had feared, but humanity continued, silent, calm, and prepared, always ready, always patient, always watching. The story of Earth was now a story for the universe, a story of strength without arrogance, power without noise, intelligence without pride. The galaxy had learned that weakness is often only a mask for strength, and silence can be louder than a shout. Humanity had left its mark without speaking a single word, and the stars would remember forever.